doing saber at home, I do want to encourage you to try it and try to get too discouraged by how quickly we move, or try to move a little slow with the blade. But remember, if you don't have space, you can use your thumb. It is a great substitute for the shape of the blade, right, and the way the blade is held. The thumb perfectly follows the same motions that a saber would, right? So if I'm holding my thumb out and I'm cutting like this, of course the curved part of my thumb will be the sharp part of the saber. So coming from the shoulder and cutting out, that's perfect. Coming up is here. That'll also help you a lot with the body mechanics and some of the angles that you need for a correct supported cut. So make sure, if you're using your thumb, that you're turning the knuckles where you want the blade to go, or you're turning the thumbprint where you essentially would have your blade be. Okay? So we start with cuts. Cuts are from shoulder to hip, or from hip to shoulder. So if we're doing our down cuts, we're coming off of our shoulder and across our body, making an X motion, and back up to the other shoulder and across our body again, kind of like we're just drawing an X with the tip of the blade. Now you're going to do 10 of those on each side, right? So down 1 and 2, 3 and 4, so one cut either direction is 1. And then 1, 2, right, down cuts on both hands. You'll be less coordinated with one of your hands, depending on which hand you write with. I want you to know that most weapon forms or saber forms in traditional Chinese martial arts are right hand dominant. Okay, so you'll have to, if you're not used to doing things with your right hand, you'll be ambidextrous, or just very good at using weapons with the right hand. Now, after that we have the cuts up. That means we come from the hip up to the shoulder. From the hip up to the shoulder. Those are the up cuts because the blade is pointing up and traveling upward. Okay, up, 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 up. Try to get them smooth as you can. 10 of down cuts, 10 of up cuts on each side. That's 40 cuts total. Give it a try. Be right back.
Yes, sir.
As you do your cuts, I'm gonna talk to you a little bit as you do your cuts. So anytime you're using or about to use your blade, you put your saber in front of your shoulder. Right? Anytime you're walking and you're not using your blade, your saber should go behind your shoulder. And of course you want to make sure that the curved part is pointed out, because if this was a live blade and you turned it this way, you'd be cutting into your shoulder. So here, if you're not using it and you're just walking, right? Not running, right? So running, that's a different thing. You're still swinging the saber. So just walking, right hand down, swinging the arm naturally. This is good for your saber. This is a good position for your saber because you know where it is. I know that if it's up against my body, it's not accidentally poking somebody in the eye. So pointing here, walking, and it also doesn't look like I'm about to use it on anyone. So this is less threatening than if I walk up like this, or if I'm walking like this. Okay? So we're getting ready to use it, so you're going to put it in front of your shoulder. Let's go ahead and run the set. If you are in a space, you don't have a lot of space, you're going to have to shorten your steps, or scoot all the way to the right of whatever space you have, or as close to the right as you can, because the form runs long ways, sideways, back and forth. Starts with the salute, like a lot of our forms. Stand.
Yes, sir.
Stand tall.
Yes, sir.
5 animal salute. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, don't lose your balance. 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Pull back for 7 and 8, 9, 10. Turn. 1, 2, 3, 4. Press. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Turn. Step forward. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Roll. Turn. 7, 8. Lunge. Double front. Feet up.
Yes, sir.
Reset.
Sir.
Now, I want you to follow Mr. Gage for those, and now we're going to go over 1 or 2 of the motions, and we're going to run it like 1 or 2 more times.
Yes, sir. Good stance.
Yes, sir.
Stand tall.
Yes, sir.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Double front jump. Feet together.
Very good. Very good, very good, very good. Glad this is here now. So very quickly, I want you to set your sabers down, or if you're using your thumb, just relax your thumb. And I want you to make fists with your hands, and I want you to turn and spin, and just relax the arms, let them do this. Okay. Right, so, and then you can go a little faster. Right, you start swinging, you start noticing the faster you try to turn, the more your arms swing out, right? In addition, they only turn, they can only go so far, and then it has to swing back, right? And notice how this one comes forward with the back of the fist, right? The shoulders go first. So just like this noisemaker, right? You twist it, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and it naturally makes the arm swing. Right, so the same way we turned our body, see, it makes noise the same. So when we do that in the form, right, we just did we're doing the cuts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then we get to 6. We're gonna roll it in our hand and point down, and then we're gonna treat ourselves like the noisemaker, but just with the sword hand, because we don't want a loose sword with a loose hand, so we don't want to cut ourselves. So we keep this one in, and we're gonna do that same turn with the sword pointed down. We're gonna turn, and then it comes back. So kind of like we were doing the noisemaker. So we have to turn our body first, and then the sword will do what it's supposed to do. It's more likely going to do what it's supposed to do. Pointing down. When I turn, there's only 2 ways to turn the wrist. So don't turn it to where the blade points up, but you want to turn the hand to where you can put the back of your fist on your thigh, and then pull your blade out. Roll and point down. Turn. do that with me a couple times, and then we're gonna run it once more. So roll, point down, turn the body, and pull the saber. Roll, point down. It only happens twice in the form. We're just gonna keep doing it until we get an understanding of it. Turn. The back. Turn it to the back of the fist. Touches the body. Roll, point down. Turn. Pull. Roll, point down. Turn the body. One more. Roll, point down, and turn. Good to go.
Yes, sir.
Hopefully that was a good explanation. Remember, if you're tuning in now, or if you didn't hear what I said earlier, if you didn't remember, this is a reminder. We're about to do it one more time and then end. If you have suggestions or questions specifically for your training, or if you have a picture of yourself doing it, or a video that you want to send us that we can critique, just something to help us give you feedback that caters specifically to those that are actually watching and tuning into the videos. We want to be able to give you that. So comment with questions, pictures, videos, explanations of misunderstandings so that we can help you and answer those questions. Mr. Gage is going to lead you through it one more time.
Sir.
Give it a try.
No words?
No words, yeah.
Hold on. Stand.
Yes, sir.
Stand tall.
Yes, sir.
Begin. Bow to Senior Head Instructor.
Bow to Head Instructor. And advanced and intermediate at home. Very good job, Master Travis Smith.